What's up? We're here. The official first stream of ETC. I'm super pumped. And we're gonna get straight to it. Couple housekeeping items before we get started. First and foremost, everybody needs to know from here on out, when we're streaming and we're doing breaks, what we pull in any given break is available to team members that are already subscribed to the team. So we obviously haven't launched yet, and this particular break here is going to be a little bit different in the sense that in order to have access to these cards, you need to be on the early access list and get your invitation that we'll send out a few days before launch to the people on the early access list. And if you purchase a membership through that early access list, you will then be a member the minute we go live on June 28th, and you'll be able to bid on any of the cards that we pull here. After that break, you will need to be a member before I hit the start button when I start ripping cards for any given break. So I'm going to run through the whole process for you. That's kind of why we're here. This is kind of like a dry run to make sure that everything works as I hope it does, and also for you guys to see how everything's going to work, for me to do some explaining and telling you guys what ETC is all about. So I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to rip some packs. And if you saw our post on social media talking about this break, we've got 4 hobby boxes plus a little extra. So we've got 2 hobby boxes of 2025-26 Bowman basketball, 2 hobby boxes of 26 Bowman baseball, and we've got a little leftovers that I didn't even tease in the social post from the card show. The card show was awesome. Had a fantastic time. Awesome reception from the community. Pretty much validated everything that I was hoping ETC could be to the prospective collector. So it just was really inspiring, and I'm really excited to get this thing going, and I'm excited to let this be the start of that. So my plan here is to get started with the baseball, in particular because I will fully admit that I am not an expert in pretty much anything when it comes to trading cards or sports. I know basketball the best of anything, so we'll save that for last because I can actually speak to that a little bit. I know the least about baseball, so I'm not going to pretend to know a lot. I've done a little bit of research on the release and on the prospects this year, and I know, I can tell a good card from not a good card, but don't expect me to know obscure prospects or get, the most in-depth baseball analysis on you here. So, Oh, the wifey over here said use the chat, peeps. So I don't know
if they know about the cards.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. If you know about the cards, please teach us. That's something that I really want these streams to be. I want this whole thing, ETC in general, to be a learning experience, a no judgment zone. I don't purport to know, right from wrong here. I know what I think, I know what I feel, I know what got me into this and what got me starting this company. But I also know that I want to learn a lot more, and I hope that we can get that kind of environment here where these live streams can be an opportunity for everybody to learn together. So I'm going to pop this chat out on my laptop over here so that I can see it just a little bit better. And the wifey is also helping me remember to remind you guys to subscribe. Right now we have the subscriber only chat off. We want to make sure that we are welcoming to everybody as we're getting started, but at some point that will probably go on in the future for these breaks. So, and plus it helps us grow, and it is a big support. So subscribe here on the YouTube channel. Hit us up on all our other socials, subscribe there, give us likes and comments and feedback and all of that good stuff. The more engagement we get, the more we can grow. And that's what it's all about. We need this thing to grow. That's how we succeed. That's how we get to the highest level. We reach our ultimate goal, is to grow as a team and achieve bigger, better breaks. All right, so before I rip the first pack, a quick disclaimer about ETC live streams. These are meant primarily for documentation. This is not meant to be a hype machine. This is not meant to be I'm gonna sit here for seconds on end, teasing cards as I pull them. This is meant to be a total transparency value commitment. One of our 7 value commitments that we promise to our subscribers. So we are looking to document every card that we pull so that you guys can trust when you see it pulled here, it's going up to you on our site. And what that means is this is going to be longer than your normal stream. I'm not going to blow through every single base card and only get to the good stuff. So this is going to be a little bit different than you might be used to from watching regular breaks. But in order to not bore you to death with every single base card, because, let's be reasonable, my plan for the breaks is to do this. We're going to open packs. We're going to, I'll thumb through the cards in front of the camera so you can get a quick glance at what we pull and we can get excited about good stuff. And then I'm going to separate the base cards from the non-base cards. And so you can see here I've got my trusty Ding Defend tray, and I've got it numbered 1 through 10, and I got my penny sleeves over there. And what the plan is we'll put the base cards up top. We won't sleeve all the base cards from the get-go. We'll sleeve those at the end when we get ready to take front and back images of those. But we will sleeve all the non-base cards, and then when we fill up the slots 1 through 10, then we'll shift over to the capture station, and we'll capture the images of the non-base cards first, so you guys can get the close-up images of the potentially good stuff that we pull. And then once we've gone through all the packs, we'll go through, we'll sleeve all the base cards and get pictures of those at the end. My guess is by that time, you'll probably be ready to tune out, and that's fine. You don't need to stick around for the base cards if you're not interested in them. But I'll be here for the whole time, making sure that we get our total transparency fully committed, and that's the plan. I see Drew in the chat. What up, Drew? Let's go. All right. I think that's it. So let's get to it. Bowman baseball. And like I said, I don't know a lot. Oh, the other thing. Gloves or no gloves? I've gone over this in my head a lot. I'm willing to do whatever the team wants. If the team, as we go along, wants me to wear gloves, that's fine. I'm happy to wear gloves. I firmly believe that you should handle your cards with your bare hands, and that's what I'm going to do in the beginning here, particularly because these are founded funded breaks. So I can take a little leniency here and allow myself to do that. But as we grow, as we get some team members, as we get some feedback in the board account polling, that's right, we poll our team members to see what they think, how they feel, what they're interested in. I'm not just here for my own good, I'm here for the good of the team. So I'm going to be polling the team on a daily basis, regular basis, to make sure that I'm always in touch with what the team wants, that we're buying breaks the team wants, that we're practicing, all the different aspects of the hobby in the way that best fits the team. So in the beginning, I'm going no gloves, and we can change that if need be. So here we go. Before I start talking to you about ETC, we'll talk a little bit. Okay. Talk a little bit about Bowman baseball. All right, starting off strong with Ethan Holiday. Boom shakalaka. We'll sleeve that bad boy. So we have a commitment to sleeve every single card when it's pulled. So this is what you see me doing here. All non-base cards get sleeved right away. All base cards will get sleeved at the end. Hopefully nobody feels a way about that. When we get to breaking super exclusive stuff, like the 87 Fleer basketball, that's right, team. We're breaking an 87 Fleer basketball box, $15,000 box for the team once we hit 40 team members.
It's hard to see the cards. Go slower.
Okay, go slower.
For the good ones.
The lady, the wifey's telling me to go slower, but just to clarify, we will be getting a close-up image of each and every one of these cards, but I probably should look at the screen while I'm pulling here. That would help. And where was I? Yeah, so we're gonna sleeve every card from the get-go. And you can trust that when we pull a card, it's going to be shipped to you in the exact same condition that it was pulled.
You still need to pause on this.
I don't honestly know the names of the refractors on these, and I have to apologize for that. I meant to do a lot more research for this break than I did.
Closer.
So it is what it is. So we got an Ethan Holiday. See, I got my Sox cap on, and I forget exactly how to pronounce the dude's name, but I know there's a top prospect for the Sox that people are super excited about. Ooh, Yamamoto, base card. Jackson Holiday, we like that, base card. So it was interesting to me. We can start talking about ETC.
Closer.
The wifey keeps telling me to get closer. Okay, all right. It was interesting to me as I got into the hobby again last year for the first time in several decades that there was this thing called a parallel. Because I collected in the 90s. And I was not familiar with the term. And so when I opened my first box of Panini Prisms and saw a whole bunch of cards that looked super cool, I got really excited. I was like, holy cow, these packs are loaded. I got so much good stuff. I didn't have like a computer in front of me right at the time. I just wanted to enjoy the process of ripping, because who doesn't love ripping packs? That's why we're here. That's why I created ETC, because ripping packs is a hobby essential experience that everybody. Bryce Harper, what up? Oh, power chords. That's pretty sweet. And that is a die cut card, and I can't say for sure, but I'm gonna have to assume that's a pretty nice hit. Let's get a nice little close-up there.
Look it up.
Christian Moore. Yeah, let's see here. Because that's our 10 cards, so we'll pause right there for the moment. And then I'm going to bring up the browser here. Look up Bowman power chords, see what we got. 26. Power chords. Oh yeah. So it looks like the Otani is going for 120. This is obviously not the Otani, but we got who's this? Who do we pull? We pulled Christian Moore.
Is the mic supposed to be over there?
Oh no.
I couldn't hear you though.
Oh, okay, that's good. Thanks. You know, this is why we work out the power cards. Christian Moore. Okay, so this is just the base, and that's probably not super special. You know, a few bucks, nothing crazy, not a numbered, but that's cool. But we have gotten to the point where we have 10 non-parallels here. So what we're going to do now, switch over to the capture station. And this is where we get our front and back images of every card. So you get your close-up view of everything we pull. Pictures you see here on the close-up cam are the same pictures that you will see on the website for the auction for that card. So, like I was saying, yep, I gotta learn how to be a streamer, y'all. You'll have to excuse me because I am not versed in such things, but we'll get it. We got growing to do. Oh, we got Jamie in the house. Padre! What up, Padre? Alright, I gotta focus. Here we go. Capture the front. Anyway, got into the hobby last year, was thinking I pulled a whole bunch of cool cards when I opened my first box. All these parallels. Man, these are sweet. Then I look them up. Nope. Not really. You got to be in the books. You got to study. You got to know your stuff to know what parallels are what's a short print, what's not a short print. Obviously, if they're numbered or not numbered. I didn't even know numbered cards existed. And I was taken aback because these boxes these days are not cheap. And so, you spend a lot of money on cards, you think, oh man, I'm spending a lot of money on cards. This box is this expensive. Surely I'm going to get some nice value out of this. And then you go through and you look up what you pulled, and that is most definitely not a guarantee. And that is what prompted me to start thinking about, first, how you can make money in the hobby these days. And then after that, if there's a way to help people not learn the lessons the hard way that I did, because I definitely learned lessons the hard way. I spent quite a bit of money ripping packs last year, and it didn't take long for me to realize that ripping packs was not a sustainable practice. So that's what got me thinking. Oh, Ethan Holiday base card. Let's see. I need to know. Nobody in the chat yet. That I don't know. Drew, are you a baseball fan? I don't think you are, but if you know anything about baseball, please let me know. All right, here we go. So this is the box that was partially opened from the card show, and I figured, why not give the rest of it to the team? And if I recall correctly, we have not pulled the auto from this box. I think it's still in here. So that would be pretty sweet if we could snag an auto out of, you know, what's left of half a box. I should bring up the parallel guide so I can at least look up what the names of some of these parallels are. Very nice, no glare at the capture station. Sweet deal. Good to know, Padre. Photographer extraordinaire. Hope I'm making you proud, sir. Top 100. See, I mean, just look at these parallels. Like, these are good-looking cards, and I know that these are not, you know, you see the, or not parallels. I misspeak. Inserts. It's not only parallels, the inserts. It's hard to tell which inserts are good and which are bad, because you got the inserts that are not bad, but, you know, not super exclusive. You got the inserts that aren't worth much, and then you got the inserts that are SSPs and can be worth thousands, if not tens of thousands. And if you're uneducated about the hobby, that can be a tough process to learn. What do we got? Give me an overview of that box, where you find them, how many packs are in each. Anybody else doing this way? Thank you, sir. Glad to. So this is a hobby box. And that was another thing that was new to me, getting in the hobby for the first time in decades, was the wide variety in the types of release formats of any given release. So we got our 10 non-parallels, so we're going to switch back to the capture station. And so you can get boxes from a few different locations, and where you get your boxes from generally determines what kind of quality cards you're going to get out of that box. And so hobby boxes are typically exclusive to your local card shops or your online shops that you can find. I have found it difficult to figure out where the best place to buy cards is, because the hobby has not, I guess, it's very fractured in terms of where you buy your cards from, at least in my opinion. There's not a single go-to source. There's not even just a handful of go-to sources. You can get your cards from a bunch of spots, and they all have varying degrees of variety and types of cards and stuff like that. But I found that my go-to spots are Dave and Adams, Blowout Cards, Steel City, Burbank Sports Cards, Cards HQ, shout out ATL. If you've follow us on our socials, you've seen me and my son Asher heading into Cards HQ recently to pick up some One Piece, and picking up actually these boxes that we're opening today. We captured us going in to pick out the boxes for the free giveaway. But I digress. Anyway, hobby boxes are places or boxes that have the best chances of getting the rarest cards, but they're also the most expensive by far. And typically, whether it's Topps or Panini, who are the major players in the market today, they have a hobby box, and then they'll have some type of what they'll call jumbo or value, I believe is did I do a double? Yes, I did. Oh well. So you get your hobby boxes from your local card shops, from the shops online, but you cannot get your hobby boxes from your Walmarts and your Targets. Your Walmarts and your Targets have the smaller, cheaper boxes. They usually have usually three at least hanger packs, which would be the packs hanging from the Oh, KT in the house. What up, KT? Let's go. Hanger packs that you find hanging from the pegs. Your blaster boxes, which are the smaller of the two types of boxes that they have on the shelf, and then mega box, typically you can find at a retail spot like Walmart or Target or something like that. And usually the hanger packs are, you know, somewhere in the $5 to $15 range, depending on how expensive the particular cards you're buying are. Blaster boxes are usually in the 20 to 40 range, and then mega boxes are usually in like the 40 to 60 range. But the thing that killed me when I found it out last year was that those boxes don't even have a chance of the most sought after James Wood. I think he might be a prospect. KT's in the house. KT, you're gonna have to tell me about the baseball prospects, man, because I am not an expert. So I'm gonna be looking to you to let me know when I'm pulling something sweet. All right, we got our first numbered card here. His first Bozeman. His first Bowman. Francisco Espinoza, 100 out of 199. So a purple parallel of some sort. I'm not sure if they're calling that a hollow foil or a refractor or what they're calling that in this release. James Wood is a solid player. I thought I had heard his name. But yeah. All right, last pack out of the leftover box. All right. Can you zoom in on the main cam on hands card? So let's see here. Let's bring this a little bit closer. Hold it a little bit closer. I'm gonna figure out how to get an actual live feed of what I'm doing on the laptop over here. Right now I'm on the YouTube delay. So give me a second to see if I fixed it or not. Oh, KT, no, we have not gotten the auto, and unless it's waiting right here, we might not have one. Unless we pulled it and we just didn't know. I don't remember. Did we pull it? I don't think we did, but maybe somebody pulled it and I missed it or you missed it, because that was the last pack out of this box. Or maybe it didn't come with autos, because that certainly would not be unheard of. All right. This was interesting when I got into the hobby and saw that this is how people open their boxes these days. They get a box cutter or a other blade of some sort, and they put a little X on top. Would not have been my first thing, but I can fall in line. That's cool. Needs to be angled down. Was that Kurt's A's card? That was Shotaro Mori. Let's see here. Wifey tells me to angle it down a little bit, which would make sense since I moved it forward. And actually, let's move this like this. Put that like that. All right. Back to it. So, it's hard to do something I'm brand new at and talk in a educating manner, Drew, so I apologize. I'm doing my best. Did I answer your question? If not, what else should I expound on that I am not an expert on to begin with. But yeah, basically you got your retail and you got your local card shops and or online shops that have access to the hobby boxes and the jumbos and the fast breaks. And that's the other thing is you can, more than just the hobby boxes, there's ultra exclusive releases, which is how I got burned the worst last year. Numbered card. So we got Mr. Michael Harris, Atlanta Braves, ATL in the house. Let's go. Number 43 out of 499. And that is our 10th non-base. So we will head over to the capture station. And as a reminder, every single card that you see pulled will be going up for auction exclusively to ETC team members.
Kyle says he's a good one.
Who's that, the Braves guy?
Yeah.
Sweet. But as a reminder, the only way you can have access to these particular cards is if you get on our early access list, elevatedtradingcards.com. Click the button on the screen that loads it first. It'll take you down to the entry form. All you got to do is enter your email address, and that gets you on the list. Once you're on the list, that's all you got to do. It's totally free. Next week, we will shut down the list a few days before launch, and we'll start sending out emails to everybody on the list. Cool part about it is we send out the emails in a staggered manner such that you get an email 4 minutes before the person that signed up after you. So it gives you a shot at reserving your seniority associated with your spot in line. So monitor your inbox next week if you're already on the early access list, and be on a lookout for the email from us. Make sure we are in your contacts or some other method of making sure we don't go to your spam and you miss your invite. Let's pause on that numbered Braves card right there. What up? Let's go. And when you get your email, it'll give you a link that is not available to the general public for you to purchase your membership. You will not have to decide anything except how long you want to commit for. Your dedication tier, which will be associated with the total number of active members at the time, will be automatically established for you. First 40 members will be in the visionary tier. That's the cheapest tier. Most valuable tier can be as low as $10 a month if you commit for 12 months. At most, it can be $15 a month if you commit for 1 month. Let's switch to the right one, right? Yep.
Kyle said something.
Question answered. Thanks. And there's a high one. All right, good deal. And there's a number of hobby boxes in a case, right? And one of the boxes has a case hit, right? Well, I think you're generally right, KT, that boxes come in a case. You know, so depending on the type of box, you know, a certain amount of them come to a case. So if you bought a case of hobby boxes, then you could, you know, say maybe there's 10, 15, 20 hobby boxes in one case. And then there's the concept of a case hit, and I think that varies by release in terms of whether or not they have case hits, what the case hits are, how many you might expect to find in any given case. I mean, typically you would expect that a case hit would be found once a case. I think another common term interchangeable with case hit is SSP, super short print. So these are the cards that are not numbered, like some of the number cards that we've already pulled here today, but they are acknowledged by the manufacturer to be extremely limited. For instance, I think a typical, Aaron Judge, Sterling. Now, you know, this is a super cool looking card, but if I'm not mistaken, the Sterlings are a pretty average insert. So your everyday collector probably knows not to get too excited, but last year I would have been crazy excited about that. But it's probably not worth all that much. I like the idea of the first Bowman. I was not familiar with Bowman. Bowman obviously has been around for a very long time, even back when I was collecting, but I wasn't familiar of it when I was collecting in the 90s because I was primarily a basketball guy and didn't follow baseball very much. But I think it's cool that you can get the prospects cards of guys and kind of consider it the card before the rookie card almost. And depending on how you value your cards, maybe you like the first Bowman over the first rookie. But yeah, case hits are one of a million things that you just got to research. You cannot come into the hobby and expect not to get taken if you're not willing to put in the work to learn. I'm going to have to get 2 mics. That's just all there is to it because I can't keep doing this. I can't remember. I was on Reddit one day recently, and being on the trading card Reddits, it's pretty regular that you get the comment of, should I consider this an investment? Can I make money in the hobby? You know, how do I make money in the hobby? Where, you know, do you go for prospects or do you go for goats and all of this and all of that? But I commented on one of these posts that I saw that unless you are willing to put in the work, you should definitely not consider the hobby a investment. It should be a hobby first and foremost, because the amount of time and energy you would have to put in, especially if you're trying to do it through packs. Now, if you're buying singles, that's a little bit of a different story. And that's what the common advice is these days, is just buy singles if you're looking to get the easiest, quickest value out of the hobby. But even then, it's still a bet. It's still playing the odds. It's still trying to speculate on, you know, there's only a handful of goats who will always hold their value. The Jordans, the Bradys, the Hank Aaron's, the Mickey Mantles, these things. Like, you can buy their cards and pretty much rest assured that you're not going to have to worry about those losing value over time. But if you're trying to project winners and losers of current players, there's way better ways to let your money work for you than using the hobby as a means of investment.
You didn't put your thing over.
Oh, yeah, thank you. So the wife is definitely going to have to be here with me for every single break because there is way too much going on here for me to remember off the top. So Shania just told me, do you have to take pictures of every single one right now? And the answer for right now is yeah, I do, because that's kind of what this whole thing is about. Total transparency.
You could do it at the end.
I could do it at the end, but that would be a lot of cards to keep track of, and I don't have a system for that way. I have a system for this way, so maybe in the future I can develop a system that makes these streams a little less... Oh, Otani, let's go. Now this is one card that's probably worth something, even though it's a pretty entry-level insert. That's a good-looking card. That's the thing about the GOATs, or the potential GOATs, is their cards, even their base cards, in the right condition and, you know, kept long enough, can probably be a decent form of appreciation. Those Sterlings are nice looking. I agree, Kyle. I feel like they should, I don't know. We were talking about this. Remember, we were talking about how at least let me know if the insert is good or not by making it look like crap. Because it's so disorienting to pull a really nice looking insert and have it be just a regular old insert that isn't any more valuable than a non-insert base card. I've pulled, or not pulled, I've opened some Bowman prior to opening these just for myself. I did a little bit of research and familiar with some of the names, but quite honestly, like, I have not come across many of the names that I was reading about being excited to pull. But we got a lot going. Nick Kurtz. I know he's good. Oh, Aaron Judge. I know. Hey, let's go. Okay. Base cards. That's all right. All right. So I appreciate, let's see, we got KT and Drew and Padre. Appreciate you guys supporting. Nobody would have thought they'd be worth running someday. Here we are. Ah, that's a good point, sir. That's a good point.
Mike.
Drew coming through with the knowledge. Let me see, when I'm over here, I need to be able to see my chat over here. Okay. Oh, I need to be on this one. I tried to get some music to play in the background during this thing, which I'm definitely going to have to do in the future, but you know, you can't use licensed music, and while I have a Suno subscription, I am still trying to figure out exactly how to make it make you music that isn't really, really weird, because AI does really, really weird things, especially when it comes to music. But I'm getting there. All of the music that you've heard on our posts on socials has been AI created by me, producer Ryan. Let's go.
Hey.
Hey. But I need to figure out a way to make like 30-minute long songs, because I'm going to need a bunch of those, because obviously these are not going to be short streams. And I tried to do that today, and I was quite unsuccessful, and I didn't have the time because I was scrambling to get ready for the rest of the stuff to go live. But we'll get there. This is the this stream will be effectively a good representation of what the bare minimum will be for a ETC live stream. I got a lot of things in my head that I want to do with these streams, but there's a lot of things to do to get a business off the ground, and you can't do them all at once, so some stuff just had to wait. We'll get there. What's most important is the cards and the process. And so this is us following the process. Total transparency, no shenanigans. Every card that we pull goes up for auction exclusively to team members via our Victory style auction. And that is a great lead in to what exactly is a Victory style auction. Victory style auction is what I learned about when I tried to figure out, all right, let's go. KT, is this guy any good? Charlie Condon, number 83 out of 250. That's an on-card auto right there. That is sweet. No idea if he's good or not. If he is, then I'm really excited for the team, because this is going up for auction via our Victory style auction, which is sealed bid, second price, meaning your bids are blind. No one sees what you bid. You don't see what anyone else bid. And if you happen to have the highest bid and win the auction, you only pay the price of the second highest bid. So, if you're a member on launch day, June 28th, and you're a fan of this card right here, and you want to bid on this card in a blind auction, where if you win with the highest bid, you only pay the price of the second highest bid, then you should get on our early access list. Look out for your email invitation next week to purchase your membership ahead of launch, before we make membership available to the general public. Yeah, KT, go to the research bin, baby. Let's see what we got. Second best prospect. Let's go. Let's go. Sounds like value potential to me. Colson Montgomery. I feel like I've heard his name before. Feel like he might be somebody, but yeah, it's just a base. That's fine. All right, our first auto of the night. Oh, I think I see something special down there. That looks like a black card. That looks like a black card. Yes, it is.
First round draft pick.
Yes, it is. Kalen Culpepper. Okay, KT, go to work, baby. Kalen Culpepper. Unfortunately, we got a little bit of ding on the edge there. Probably to be expected with a black card, especially a black card of that's paper. So if you're not familiar with the hobby, you have paper cards and you have chrome cards. I'll get into that in a minute, but let's just appreciate the 7 out of 10. I don't think I pulled one other out of 10 in my life. I pulled a gold Kristaps Porzingis out of 10 Panini Prism. But oh, Charlie Condon's from Atlanta, you say. Interesting. That is my second ever out of 10 and my first ever black. So that is cool. That is really exciting. A on-card auto out of 250 and a black from the same hobby box. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. I think that's worth getting excited about. For the team, Connor Griffin. I know his name. Pretty sure he's a prospect. One thing you will not do is hear me act like an expert. I am not an expert. I'm going to say it over and over again. And I welcome all other non-experts. Oh, I won't read that comment, Kyle. We'll keep that in the chat. Respect, though. Respect. Go Jackets. What did Drew say there? Selected in the first round, number 3 overall. Oh, snap. Number 3 overall. Let's go. Okay. That was a good set of 10 right there, ladies and gentlemen. Team. ETC team. This is exciting. I'm getting in the groove now. Let's get a close-up. Let's get a close-up of some on-card autos. Let's get a close-up of some black out of 10s going up for Victory Style sealed bids second price auctions only to ETC team members on June 28th. Only to team members that join via our early access list, available for free right now on elevatedtradingcards.com. I'm going to pause real quick right there on the close-up of the on-card auto of, thank you to Drew for the research, number 3 draft pick, Charlie Condon from the ATL. Let's go. Let's go. This is why ripping packs is fun. That's why every kid should be able to do this. What kid can afford, what did I pay for this box? $300 for a hobby box? And that's on the cheap side. The Topps Chrome football boxes that we gave to the team at the card show was $700. Kids can't afford a $700 box. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I get it. You know, I get it. But that's why ETC exists, so we can share in the joy and the pain. Sometimes there's pain. There is no joy without pain. Let's pause on the joy of a 7 out of 10. Kalen Culpepper. Griffin is one of the top prospects, KT says. I knew I had heard that name before. I need some research on Kalen Culpepper.
Said just got on the injured list.
Who did?
Kyle.
Oh, is my chat on this one not scrolling? Yeah, it is. Where'd you see that? Oh, Culpepper. Gotcha. Just got on the injured list. Oh well. Connor Griffin, Electric Sluggers. Pretty sure that's a basic insert. And I'm realizing now that I just pulled my first die cut card too. That die cut we pulled earlier. I think literally ever, because I never pulled any die cuts when I was a kid. Certainly haven't pulled any since getting back in the hobby. So that is super exciting. Okay. Back to ribbon. Woot woot! I see you, KT. Only in the morning. Oh, bless you. Bless you, bless you. Mizorowski. I've know him. I've heard that name. Pretty sure he's a prospect. So I wonder, because this is, we got 3+ boxes to go. I wonder just how important it is going to be to the prospective collector that I get pictures of the base cards on stream. Or if they'll be able to trust that if I'm taking pictures of all the non-base cards like I am, that I can post the base cards later without having taken their pictures on stream. Because that's going to be a lot of time for cards that most people are gonna, if they're gonna want them, they're gonna buy them in bulk anyway, I would imagine. As long as they have the close-up picture, I'm not sure how much they'll care whether or not it was taken live on stream or not. Now this guy, this was the guy I was talking about. Top prospect. We're going to hope for something non-base of his, something cool of his. Munetaka Murakami. Oh, there's the Kalen Culpepper guy again. Oh yeah? It's on autofocus. Maybe I need to change that next time. Oh, we got a die cut again. Juan Soto, I know that name. I know that name. Let's go. Pretty sweet. Oh, it does randomly zoom in, doesn't it? All right. Oh, I had already filled up my 10 here. All right. So, let's see, what else do we need to talk about? Before we get into the value that ETC offers our team members, all the different ways, I'm reminded that I brought up the gold Porzingis out of 10 that I pulled last year. There's a bit of a story with that. I was going to make a social media post about it, actually. So I am a huge Ann Edwards fan. And after I got into the hobby, started buying packs, I was buying the 2024 Panini Prisms. And if you follow basketball, you know that 2024 draft class was, shall we say, pretty lackluster. And so there wasn't a lot of excitement to be had about the rookies. And combine that with my crash course and the lack of value that can be counted on when ripping packs these days, I was desperate for something to get excited about. And I went to Cards HQ one day and came across a first off the line hobby box of 2020 Panini Prism basketball. Now at the time, I wasn't entirely sure what first off the line was, but I had seen it before. I had seen the name first off the line. I was familiar that it was basically in a exclusive kind of hobby box. Specifically, the name suggests, the first of the hobby boxes of that year to get produced. And so they contain certain exclusive cards that you can't get from any other type of box, even the regular hobby box. And of course, because they contain more rare cards, they are more expensive. And this one was also, a few years old at this point, 5 years old. And the older a box gets, the more its value goes up because it becomes increasingly rare that there are unopened boxes of that year still available. Okay, so maybe these die cuts aren't as Nick Kurtz though. I mean, we're getting good ones. Not sure. I don't know, man. I feel like the die cut should maybe be a little bit more exclusive if it's that common, but what do I know? This one was $2,500. Oh, we got a numbered card. Here we go. 22 out of 100. First Bowman. Don't recognize his name. Not sure if he's a top prospect or not. KT. They're calling you out, brother. Kyle's input on the baseball cards. The people want more, KT. The people want more. So sounds like we're either going to have to get you to tune in with me, or maybe we can just get you your own streaming station. We'll have to figure that one out. Kazuma Akamoto. feel like that might be a guy. And this is his base chrome refractor. Kind of like the silver prism parallel. There are certain parallels that are unnumbered but generally recognized by the hobby as kind of the most desirable of the affordable ones. And I know that the silver prism from Panini is widely regarded as that type of card from Panini, and I'm fairly sure that the base refractor from Topps and or Bowman is the equivalent for Topps. So that Kasuma Akamoto might be a nice card for a good prospect. Potentially good value to be had in a blind Vickery style auction if you're an ETC team member. Probably will be. Let's go, KT. Let's go. I made an app. Shania is telling me to talk about my app. I did make an app. I'm using it right now. That's what this whole process is that you see when I'm here at the capture station. I would not have been able to get ETC off the ground without the help of good old AI. I have become something of an addict over the last year. I don't know if addict's the right word. Extremely involved and familiar with using AI in all of its various capabilities. What started as I think I had like 4 total Apple Notes on my phone back in, and Kyle will remember this. We were talking about this back in September, October of last year, about ETC and the ideas that were going through my head and all the different possibilities and this and that, and I made, I think it was 4 or 5 Apple Notes at the time. Has turned now into, I asked Claude the other day how big my repo has gotten, and that's the terminology for those that don't know. When you start getting deep into it, you have a repository of documents that you feed into the AI to get your work done. My repository is, I think, 500,000, I forget if it was lines of words. I think it was words and some insane amount of lines of code. Anyway, it's gotten really big. And part of that repository is this app that I use, connected to this camera that I'm using for the close-up shots. And through the streaming software OBS, it connects to the camera, gets a close-up image of the card, auto-rotates the card, auto-names the card, and when I'm done, I'll get on the app and I will feed the checklists that you can find readily available online into the app, and it will automatically parse the checklists and assign as much information to the card as it can strictly off of me entering the card number. And then all I have to do, which is still not an insignificant amount of work, is make sure that I enter the refractor or the parallel type or the numbered out of, check whether or not it's a memorabilia card or an auto or something like that. But I got an app. There's an app for that. ETC Break app. Still working on it. Still got lots of ideas for refining and what not to do, but you're a pioneer. I don't know about that. Maybe you can find good football knowledge. Yes. Well, you know, I've got visions of grand things in my head, like getting some really notable people in the hobby to join me on stream and provide commentary. I think that would be pretty sweet. But we got to grow. Everything about ETC is dependent on our ability to grow. Once we get our name out there, once people see what we're about. 43 out of 125. Now that is a good looking card. Now this is what you might call something of a color match card, and that is probably my favorite type of card. I love me a good color match card, and when you get a color match card that is also numbered, that's about as good as you get, in my opinion. That is sweet. Looks like it's pretty well centered too. Could grade really well. I need a research team. I need a research team to tell me if Kendry Martinez is any good, because that's a sweet card. I appreciate you guys sticking around, fam. Much appreciated. Please don't, you know, this is obviously going to go for a while. So if you're entertained, please do stick around. If you're tired, you need sleep, I get it.
Match.
No sweat. What do you say?
It's the color match.
I know.
I think he's poking fun at you.
Why?
When you got excited that one
Oh. KT, were you making fun of me? Be honest. Be honest, KT. I'm not going to tell that story on stream.
You have to now.
No, I don't. Yes, I do. All right. Because I'm not an expert. So, we were at the card show, and we were giving away free packs, which I think is pretty cool. And a kid was opening a pack of Topps Chrome football from a $700 hobby box, and he pulled a white parallel numbered out of 35. And now, at the time, well, pretty much for all the pulls, I was looking at the cards upside down while the people that were pulling were holding it under the camera in front of me. So it was a little hard to see who the players were to begin with. And all I saw was the white parallel and a white Raiders jersey. He was being sincere. See, I told you. I told you. Well, I'm telling the story now. So I see a white, numbered out of 35, with a white Raiders jersey, and I'm excited. I can't help it. Why is my monitor? There we go. I can't help it. So I get pumped immediately. And then I hear the kid, like, just mere seconds after he pulls this good card, like he gets not super excited, but he's like, oh, numbered out 35. And so, you know, I'm thinking he's excited. And like not long after, I didn't see him flip through the cards some more, but he says Ashton Genty. And I know who Ashton Genty is. And, you know, Ashton Genty, number out of 35, color match, like, that's worth getting excited about. Turns out, he was talking about the Ashton Genty card 2 cards after the numbered out of 35 card. The numbered out of 35 card was some no-name lineman. And I am pumped. I am pumped. It's just, I know that kid was thinking to himself, what is wrong with this guy? Does he know anything? because this card is probably not worth squat. But that's what happens.
And you yelled color match.
And I yelled color match, probably pretty loudly, because I'm not a quiet guy. So, thank you, Shania, for bringing that up, even though Kyle wasn't even talking about that. Speaking of color match, that was our nice numbered color match card there. Keep getting off track. Maybe make a comment about opportunities for collectors more eager to find key cards they need to flesh out their specific collections. I think that's a good point, Padre. That this system we've got set up here, I think makes for a easy, unique way to collect the stuff you're interested in. Not necessarily just finding good cards, but if you're a real collector, somebody that, you know, likes collecting specific sets or color matches or inserts or whatever the case may be, that our inventory process is going to make it extremely easy for you to get on our site and dig down deep into, oh, hey, look at that. First box. Done and done. That was the first box ETC's ever opened. That's pretty cool. Because eBay, I don't know about you, if you're a avid collector, if you really like looking for cards on eBay, but I find it extremely stressful because it is way too hard to suss out quality, trustworthy people from the people trying to scam you on eBay. And there is no documentation or chain of ownership to track for the cards that you buy on. Look at this, Aaron Judge. Yeah, these just can't be all that special because they are coming up way too often. But we've gotten a bunch of good players of these. I think it will be super cool to be able to put in bids on obscure cards that nobody else wants on a site that is populated by a total, you know, bidding pool, you know, what do we say, Kyle? 1/1000th the size of, I don't know why I'm trying to sleeve a base card, of eBay. You're going to be able to get a bunch of stuff really easily that you know is pack fresh, and you can see up close in 4K on the website. You know that image was taken exactly when the card got pulled. And we'll ship it to your door in the same condition. I think that's pretty sweet. I think that could be really appealing to a lot of collectors, especially as we grow and we start opening more and more boxes. I'm going to assume that a lot of the boxes we end up breaking are new release stuff, because that's generally what tends to get the people excited, and then we'll probably from time to time the team will probably vote to spend money on some big dollar past wax. ATL, Mr. Cunha Jr.
Nice.
So yeah. 1/10,000th even. Yeah. Even if we hit our goal of 4,000 team members in a hobby of multiple millions just in the States, we'll be at 1/10,000th the size of the pool you would be bidding against on eBay. And you'd be bidding against people in sealed bid, second price auctions. What's not to love? So anyway, back to my story
Your dad asked a question.
about the first off the line box. Will you be able to have someone do real-time research on some of the key collectible cards? Well, maybe. Who knows? I would love to be able to afford to do that. In the future, I would like to be much more prepared than I am today myself. It's not beyond my expectations that I would be able to speak to these cards far more intelligently if I weren't under the pressure of getting this thing off the ground at the same time. So once we get this thing going and we get humming, I do hope to be much more pre-educated. I'm really excited to learn about Pokemon cards. We're going to be breaking $3,000 worth of Chaos Rising as our founder break number 2. And I'm going to use that opportunity to dive deep into Pokemon. I've been learning some with my son. Been learning about One Piece too. Quite honestly, I think One Piece is cooler than Pokemon. Don't hate me. But Pokemon is super fun as well. So, until the time comes that I can... Try to not get that one. That I can afford to hire people to do research for me on the spot. Give me a little info. I'm going to do better, hopefully, about learning myself. And like I said, I opened the Bowman first because I knew that I am not super educated about baseball and that it would give me an opportunity to do a lot of chit-chatting about ETC. And no sniper bots. That's right, KT. Oh no, how did I do that? Oh, okay. That's right. That's another big plus of the Victory style auction. In addition to the blind bids and the paying the second highest bid if you win, is there's no more sniping at the end of auctions. I think the hobby is really, really gonna like this when they find out about it. There's other types of auction manipulation that I've read about that the Victory auctions combat. I forget the specific names, but there's 2 or 3 other styles of manipulation that you effectively can't do with the Victory auctions. So I'm super pumped about it. So I think I'm gonna have to just be forthcoming up front. I had intentions of taking a picture of every single card pulled on stream, but I have a job. This is not my job, and it is 8:13, And this has taken about as long as I thought it was going to take. I'd hoped to start this earlier, so I will say that. But, yeah, I just don't know that that's going to be feasible in the long term. And I'm not really sure. Oh, look at this, out of 25. First Bowman. Matthias Lacombe. Number 5 out of 25. Orange. Sweet deal. Don't know if he's any good. Really helps to know if these players are good or not. Anyway, I think we're going to have to amend the operational documents for ETC to say that we'll post every base card. We'll see about trying to get a picture of every base card, but we may just end up having to post the base cards by number, and if you want a picture of it, you can request a picture and we can send one to you. But in the beginning, I think we're going to have to focus on operational efficiency. And it's a near certainty that people are not going to come to ETC for base cards first. And if they do come to ETC for base cards, my guess is they would not be deterred by bidding on base cards that they can see pulled live. Because the other cool thing about our documentation process is this live stream. Every single card is captured live on stream. And the cards that get taken pictures of are timestamped such that they are going to have a link to the YouTube stream specifically at the timestamp that they were pulled. At least that's my intention. So, lots of stuff to appreciate about elevated trading cards and the value that we are providing to the team. I still haven't finished my story about the gold Porzingis. You thought I forgot, didn't you? So I buy this box for $2,500. I immediately felt bad. Immediately. I knew it was dumb. But I also immediately understood the feeling of these guys that get hooked on traditional breakers and who spend hours watching breaks, buying into slots on break after break after break, hoping to quote unquote get a good pull, because it's intoxicating. It's like gambling. It's just like gambling. And you have to be educated, you have to be disciplined, and you have to have a certain degree of willpower. And thankfully, it doesn't take much for me to learn my lesson. And I learned my lesson with this box. Because just as immediately as I was regretting it, I was also convincing myself I was going to pull an Ann Edwards 101. Little did I know at the time that they had already been pulled, which is another thing that you got to learn. You got to learn, you got to do your research from what's been pulled already from any given release. It doesn't do you any good to spend money on a rare box if you're chasing something that isn't possible for you to pull. Which, I might add, is one of the reasons I picked the 87 Fleer as the Elevation Day #1 reward, because we know, I mean, we can be fairly assured that there's going to be some Jordans in there. And there's going to be some Magic Johnsons in there, and some Charles Barkleys in there, and some Larry Birds in there, and some Dr. J's, and some Julius, or some Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, all of which are multi-$100 cards, some of which, in the case of the Jordan, can be upwards of $30,000 in a PSA 10. Don't get me started on grading. We'll save that for another time. But it is a very important part of the hobby and has to be considered. And especially when you're buying a box like that, this is something that ETC can offer that is very unique in the sense that you can bid on a card from a 1987 Fleer basketball box, sealed, and you know that that card is pack fresh, freshly pulled. You're not getting that anywhere else in the hobby in the way that we do it. You might be able to bid on a pack fresh 87 Fleer Jordan somewhere on a very rare occasion. I don't know where. I honestly couldn't tell you where that would be. But what I do know is you can't do it in a Victory style auction. And you can't do it against a total pool of bidders numbering in the hundreds or at most few thousands. So, lots to be excited about.
Finish your story.
I didn't pull an Ann Edwards card. The wifey just said, finish your story. Yeah, I know. It's been like 30 minutes and I still haven't finished my story. I pulled nothing. I pulled not a one Anthony Edwards rookie card out of an entire hobby box. And now that I've been in the hobby, like, that's not entirely surprising. It is disappointing. Like, I would have, hoped I got one, some random insert, some base card. What's that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Something. Nothing. I got nothing. The best card that I pulled was that gold Porzingis out of 10, which, no shade to Chris Stapps, that was not what I was looking for, and is not very valuable, even though it's out of 10. If I got it graded, it still wouldn't be that valuable. Doesn't make a whole heap of difference if you pull a really, really, really rare card, if it's a card of someone that nobody really wants. And the value to be had from that box was not high to begin with. I've learned something from this that I would have never known since not having seen these boxes. And that's, I really like the look of those Sterlings. Yeah, I agree. Did I just pull one? Yeah, I agree, KT. I was thinking, because I had said that I had pulled some, I had opened some packs of this before today, and I looked at this card, and I was like, this is a really good looking insert. And I was really surprised to find that it just was a regular kind of base level insert. It's a good looking card. I agree, sir. Yeah, so not a lot of value at all from a $2,500 box. And it was at that point that I realized I needed to change up my approach to the hobby. Oh no, what have I done?
Thing's not pushed over the feed.
Oh. Sorry, guys. So, if that's that, then this is that. He's no Anthony Edwards. That's right. Kristaps is no Ant-Man. But anyway, I had gotten into the hobby thinking that I was gonna kind of do the singles thing. I thought that I was gonna do a blend of packs in the singles thing, because it was really important to me to rip packs. Like I find it super enjoyable. Who doesn't? And I wanted that to be a part of my regular hobby experience. And I also wanted to see about finding value, aka figuring out how to make some money in the hobby. And that experience with the first off the line box made it abundantly clear that my plan at the time was going to need to change drastically. And it also, quite frankly, made me angry. It made me feel like something had gone terribly wrong. That a guy like me, who, doesn't go into stuff like this lightly. I don't not have a decent appreciation for the value of money. I am certainly more than willing to put in the work to learn about things and make sure that I'm a educated educated consumer. And I thought up to that point that I had done what should have been a reasonable amount of work to learn about the hobby, to not have been able to be, I don't want to say taken, but, put in that position, or allowed myself to be put in that position. So I felt like there had to be a way to take the edge off the hobby, to make the learning curve a little less steep, and to bring the power of a group of like-minded collectors into a concentrated form that allowed those collectors to pool their collective purchasing power in an effort to give themselves access to those types of boxes without having to take that type of financial risk entirely on themselves. Because that's kind of that would be one of the things that I would be most excited about as an ETC member myself, would be to have the opportunity to be a team member, and one day we open a box of 2020 basketball cards with the possibility of some AE rookies, and all I got to do is pay my $10 a month or my $20 a month or whatever tier of membership I'm at the time, which, by the way, you can rise in your membership tiers simply by staying a member. Because if you stay a member, keep your membership active, and someone in a dedication tier higher than you, meaning a higher level of seniority, lets their membership lapse, you and everyone else below them automatically gets their membership seniority elevated. Your dedication level. Oh, there's an auto. Marconi German. First Bowman. All right.
Research.
It's a pretty cool signature too. Need some research on that one. Anybody? Oh, I think it's only KT here with me now. Unless you count as a... Do you not count as a viewer, or do you count as a viewer?
I think I do.
Oh. Yeah. So somebody else is... Oh, we got 3 people. Here we go. Had ATC been around, it would have been a monthly membership that is less than a hanger. Exactly. Exactly, Kyle. ETC is a no-brainer. See? Kyle, we're just going to have to figure out how to get you on stream, brother. Color commentary. That's what we need, Kyle. Color commentary. That's how we can make this process a little more entertaining than just me talking into the abyss. You and I can shoot the shit. And I can say that because I said that this stream wasn't necessarily for kids. Although I do want this company to very much be for kids and their parents, specifically their fathers, if their fathers are interested in it. I think this is an awesome opportunity for fathers and sons to enjoy the hobby together in a really new, low stress, low financial barrier to entry. You can learn together if you got young kids. Learn about the hobby, watch the breaks, bid on cards that look cool, right? The coolest thing about collecting with my son is that he's young enough to still appreciate cards simply by who's on the card and how the card looks. Doesn't matter if it's super duper common. He's pumped about it, you know. He's got several base 1 pieces and top loaders because he wants to keep them safe. And I love it. And I talked to a lot of father-son combos at the card show. Culture Collision, shout out. Thanks for having us. It was a really, really good experience. Talked to a lot of father-son combos, and it just gave me a lot of hope that what I thought this company could be for that specific demographic, I do think it has that potential. Number 20, Marconi. Here we go. KT with the commentary. We're going to pause on this one for a second. KT says Marconi, number 22 prospect in Nationals farm system. He's got potential. He's only 18. Wow, that's wild. Yes, Drew, 100%. Better than driving all over town, spending money at Target and Walmart and getting nothing. As guaranteed, we have pulled about 5 times as many even decent cards from these hobby boxes than would have been pulled from equivalent blasters and mega boxes at your local Target or Walmart. All right, we are getting to the end of the baseball, which which means we got basketball coming up.
Is that the last one?
No, not quite. We got maybe like 6 or 8 more. I mean, from where we started, we're getting close. Roman Anthony. I know that name. I know people are excited about him. Although I don't think he had a great year. I listened to a lot of Bill Simmons' podcast. And as such, I probably know more about Boston teams than I know about some of the Atlanta teams. That's a cool parallel. But sounded like Roman Anthony may not have been super exciting last year. Not to myself. That's right, KT. Not only snacks, but who can get out of Target without... Nobody says they can get out of Target without spending about 3 times more than they intended to when they went in. Jackson Holiday. So the other thing that I'm thinking is, while this is certainly, a bit of a tedious process, as intended, for total transparency, and I do think we will probably have to do some altering of the plan in terms of how we're going to document and post the base cards. There will be several breaks where we're only breaking 1 box. For instance, the aforementioned 1987 Fleer. For instance, the 2018 Topps Chrome. Chasing. That's a cool looking parallel too. Chasing some Ohtani rookies. Founder funded break number 3, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's a $7,000 box of cards. 1 single box, $7,000. Every card we pull goes up for auction to the team. So there will be plenty of these streams that are not this long and or tedious to wait to see what gets pulled. And if the team wants me to fly through, if we launch and I get some feedback from team members that say, yeah, we don't need to see all of that stuff, man, just show us the good stuff, we trust you, so on and so forth, it's all good. But we got to start from a strong baseline of trust, show that I'm willing to do the work to make sure the team knows that their cards are being handled appropriately. And then we'll go from there. We will grow as a team. So we talked about early access and how that is the only way for you to be able to bid on all the cards pulled in this break. By joining for free by entering your email address on elevatedtradingcards.com, getting your email invitation next week before we launch to purchase your membership, which will make you a member the day we launch, and then these cards will all be up for Victory Style auction exclusively to you and the other people that joined via early access. We've talked about the tiers of membership. So there are 4 tiers of membership. Maybe we haven't talked about that as much as we should have. That Hoda box got a lot. Yes. Yes, it did, KT. The 2018 Topps Chrome jumbo box. And turns out I learned something just last week at the card show. When I bought that box from BBCE, Baseball Card Exchange, which, if you didn't know, is the most trusted resource in the hobby for sealed, unopened product authentication. So what better place to get a box like that from? They had it labeled as a Home Team Advantage box, which I do believe it is also known as, but in doing more research, I thought it was different from just a regular jumbo box. It is not. It's a jumbo box of that year's Topps Chrome, which, you know, every year's Topps Chrome and really Panini's, they all have a jumbo version of their hobby boxes that gets released, or some sort of, maybe not all of them. I think maybe Panini does and does not sometimes. But anyway, it's a jumbo box. So I think we can say jumbo and people know what we mean, but we can also say Home Team Advantage because it's the same. That caught a lot of eyes, caught a lot of people's attention, because those are probably even more rare by the day, given the hype around Ohtani. My guess is most people, if they have those, are going to just continue to hang on to them because they're only going to get more and more valuable. But we here at ETC, we like to rip packs. So that's what we do. We buy really cool boxes and we open them. And it's super exciting. Keaton Anthony, I feel like I've heard that name. All right, we are down to our last 2 packs of baseball. Then we can get into some basketball.
Woo!
Something I know a little bit about. So that's exciting. Let's see if we finish strong here. I'm realizing, so I've learned that there are image variations of cards. And this is another type of parallel or different type of card. Oh, here we go. 148 out of 350. Kenley Hunter, first Bowman. This is the first of this kind of parallel that we've pulled. That's cool looking. That's cool looking. Yeah, these image variations, you wouldn't know you pulled them unless you were educated. Like, you literally wouldn't know. A lot of them look exactly like base cards, and unless you had taken note of how the regular base card looked when you pulled it, and then noticed that this base card of the same player looked like a different picture, and then investigated it and found out that it was actually a super rare short print. Thanks for tuning in, Padre. Much appreciated, sir. Drive safe. We'll see you soon. Yeah, so, you know, it's entirely possible I've pulled, I mean, it's probably did not happen, because I at least have some general eye for some of the things to look for those variations. I know that on the football ones, most of the image variations are of players with their helmet off. I'm not sure how Topps handled the image variations in this release. Yeah, we're gonna have to, we'll turn the autofocus on the hand cam off for the next one. Actually, I can probably do it when we switch over to these basketballs and see if it helps at all. That was our 143rd card captured. Our 143rd non-base card pulled. That was our 144th. And it is not a coincidence that I picked the number 144 to make note of. All right. Tail end of the baseball. I think we got some good stuff. I think we got some stuff that people, that people can be excited about. So like I was saying, 4 membership tiers: Visionary, Trailblazer, Vanguard, and Investor. Visionary is the first 40 members. Trailblazers is members 41 through 400. Vanguard is members 401 through 4,000. And Investor is members 4,001 plus. Each tier of membership is marginally more expensive than the tier that precedes it from a dues standpoint, and contributes marginally less of your total dues to the team bank. So the more senior you are, the more valuable your membership is to you. And like I said, the longer you stay a member, the more likely it is that you move up in tier. Oh. We have, at the start of this,
Flip the camera.
thank you. You guys probably don't like looking at my back. All right, that was it. Sweet. We got 2 more non-parallels here to get pictures of real quick. Not non-parallels, non-base cards. Alrighty. So we are going to switch to some basketball. And that will take just a quick couple of minutes to switch over. If I had some music, I'd play some music for you. But I don't. So it's all good. Let's see, how am I going to do this? We'll go here. I should have planned this better. Anyway, like I was saying, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I'm going to keep talking anyway. Talked about the membership tiers. We have 130 plus early access list signups. So I would highly encourage you, if you're on that list, to take advantage, because it might be your only shot at getting in the visionary tier before it fills up, and then we open up the Trailblazer tier. And that will be an exciting time, because that means we get our first Elevation Day celebration. that is a perfect opportunity for me to talk about Elevation Day. Elevation Day is my idea, my means for motivating the team and rewarding the team for their dedication to our continued growth. So each dedication tier that we unlock will be marked by an Elevation Day celebration of increasing value founder-funded breaks. The first of which, when we unlock the Trailblazer tier, is a break of technically $10,000 or more, but I decided to go even bigger and get a $15,000 box of 1987 Fleer basketball to reward the team with when we shift into 40 plus team members. When we shift past 400 team members, we go into the Vanguard tier, and there we will unlock our second Elevation Day celebration, which will be a founder-funded break of $20,000 or more. And then when we unlock the final tier, the investor tier, which is when we transition into 4,000 team members, we will unlock the last Elevation Day celebration. But the celebrations don't actually end there. We will start with a Elevation Day 3 celebration of $40,000 of founder-funded breaks. And then from that day forward, the 4th of every month will therefore be known as Elevation Day and marked by a founder-funded break of $10,000 or more. Every month after we pass 4,000 team members, we're giving the team a $10,000 break every single month just to reward them for their dedication. I think that's pretty sweet. Alrighty, so now I need to back out of this. This was gotta get a new break going. Funded number 555. Hobby books connected. Start session. All right. Basketball time. What's that?
The app.
The app. The app. All right. I'm excited to be able to talk about something I know. Here we go. I am struggling to remember if we pulled the auto from this one. We did. We pulled this one was a Steph Castle auto. That was pretty sweet. Did I switch? Yes, I did. Oh, sorry. I'm not supposed to do that. The wifey told me not to do that. We'll put these here for now. Okay. Let's do it. Basketball time. Keon Anthony, that is Carmelo's son. Mr. Giddy. My watch. That's your calendars. Notifications. Maybe. Yeah. All right. Starting off with the numbered from the jump. Jaden Ivey. He went a little crazy. Hopefully he's feeling better these days. Cool too that you get to see the women's side of things in the Bowman. I like that. I am not familiar with the women's prospects this year, so you'll have to forgive me. There he is. There's the man. There's going to be plenty of people interested in this one. Mr. Brunson. A legend in New York, now and forever. Man. That Knicks run. That was wild.
Is that worth something?
That insert is fairly common, so probably not worth a crazy amount, but simply the fact that it's Jalen Brunson and the hype over him right now is probably the highest it's ever been. I'm sure there will be some members interested in that one. Oh, Darren Peterson, let's go. I think it's just a base, but that's cool too. Oh, talent tracker. Okay. Numbered. That's a hard number to see. 247 out of 250. I am not familiar with this gentleman. Yeah, I usually get familiar with the draft class outside of the top prospects once the season's started and you start seeing them get PT. So if it's, I mean, this is a super deep draft this year from a top level perspective. There's Darren Peterson, potential #1 pick. Got some question marks. We'll see how he handles all of that scrutiny. I heard that he's only working out for the Wizards, nobody else. Not sure that's a smart move. Oh, I don't know if this is a solid insert or not. It's a refractor though. Leah Crump. This is one of those inserts that could be good and could be basic. Not entirely sure. Oh, we got 5 viewers. What up, peeps?
Mine says 4.
Oh. Join the chat, chime in. Welcome to ETC. We are going through our total transparency process where every card pulled is captured live on stream. We are capturing close-up images of all the non-base cards that we pull. These are the same images that you will see on our website when every card goes up for auction to team members in our Victory Style auctions. Victory Style means sealed bid second price. Your bid is blind, as is everyone else's, and if you happen to bid the highest amount, you win that auction, but you only have to pay the price of the second highest bid. We are trying to make the hobby more affordable, not more expensive, as it has clearly become over the years. And we're looking forward to our launch on June 28th. So we talked about a lot on stream. What have I not covered yet? Talked about Elevation Day. Just got done doing that. Haven't talked about the value commitments. Now is probably a good time for that. So in the creation of ETC, my challenge was, how do I create value where none exists currently? And the way that I decided to accomplish that was by leaning into my affinity for organization and honesty and hard work and know-how, and the fact that I'm willing to put in the work to create this platform that is meant to, like I've been saying, that was the leftover packs from the card show. So now we get to get into the sealed boxes after these packs. Put in the work to try and break down some of these barriers to entry in the hobby, while also putting in the work to create a platform that allows people to, collectors to combine their purchasing power. And that ended up being a set of kind of specific mechanisms that I ended up coining or calling the value commitments. And there's 7 of them. Let's see if I can spout them all off the top of my head. They fall under 3 specific virtues. They were initially, they've gone through a lot of evolution over the course of the creation of the company. Wow, still ripping. Yes, indeed. Still ripping. In fact, we're effectively only halfway done. We just got through the baseball, and we're just now starting with the basketball. So we just finished with the leftover packs from the first of 3 hobby boxes that we used as free giveaways at the Culture Collision card show, and now we're starting with the 2 unopened ones. And it's given me a lot of good opportunity to talk about ETC, how it works, what I think it can be, why I'm excited. And we're talking about the value commitments, which are the means by which ETC creates value for its members. Fall under 3 higher level virtues of trust, teamwork, and dedication. This is how I have kind of seen the approach to the company and how we're going to create value out of thin air. And each of these 7 value commitments falls under one of these virtues. For trust, we have our Victory auctions, and we have our ETC vault. The Victory auctions I have talked about a lot thus far, so you can revisit that. Oh, here we go. Auto, 430 out of 499. Isaiah Dennis. Not familiar with his game, but a sweet card. So I won't beat the Victory auction thing anymore. Sealed bid, second price, doesn't exist in the hobby today. It's a pretty cool thing. And then the ETC Vault. I have not gotten a chance to talk about the ETC Vault yet. The ETC Vault is the vault concept is not necessarily a unique thing in the hobby these days. Couldn't quite think of a better name for it. But it is the way that a member can make sure that they don't waste the value that they find on the various other aspects of their membership on shipping effectively, because it allows you to have your cards that you win in auction automatically added to your vault. We will hold on to every card that you win in auction for up to 4 months, which will allow you to bundle your cards into a single shipment so that you only have to pay one shipping fee and not a shipping fee for each card that you pull. In addition to that, and actually the cooler part of the vault, in my opinion, is your wallet, which is also housed in your vault along with your one auction cards. And the wallet is our mechanism of ensuring that every bid made on a card on our platform is backed by real funds. So you, as a member, must have deposited the funds in your wallet in the amount necessary to back that bid. And this way, we ensure that bids are serious. We eliminate spurious bidding that people have no intention of following through on or reneging on. And I think in the end, it's only going to combine with the Victory style auctions to bring the price of auctions down and not up. And I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited to see how that ends up working. The combination of bids needing to be backed by funds in a member's wallet, in combination with the Victory style auctions, and also in combination with the limited pool of members that you're bidding against. It's a multi-pronged thing that will combine, I think, to create some really good value for people. All right. Out of 50. Sienna Betts. Tyler Hero. It'll be interesting to see what, if anything, the Heat do in the off season. Their name has been buzzing a lot around the Giannis situation. Just don't really see how trading everything for Giannis and then ending up with just Giannis really does anything for Giannis or the Heat. But that's just me. It's interesting. With the Bowmans, you get a lot of, because by the time you get the releases that aren't Bowman for the coming year, the rookie class has been largely analyzed and fleshed out, and so you kind of have a good idea of who's who and what's what. But outside of the top prospects, a lot of the prospects I'm seeing here are, I'm not a huge college basketball guy. Really don't see how anybody keeps up with college sports anymore in the day of NIL. Just boggles my mind how you can keep up with a team that nearly every year changes entirely over. Like there's no continuity. Oh, Cam Whitmore. I really felt like he had the potential to be special, but it seems like Ime, for whatever reason, did not trust him at all. And now he is on, I forget who he got traded to. But it'll be interesting to see if he gets any more PT. And because I saw him play in Summer League in Vegas before he came into the league from college, and he's no joke, dude. That dude has got talent, and I'm not really sure what held him back in Ime's eyes that didn't get him any PT. Oh, Dan the man. Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining. Good to see you. You'll have to, I think you were a baseball guy, Dan, so you'll have to tune in on the recording, see what we ripped from the boxes of, oh, I got 10 here, from the boxes of the 2026 Bowman baseball. Got some good stuff. Anyway, I think I got off topic again. I'm always talking about ETC and then I get distracted and I stop talking about ETC. I talked about the trust value commitments, which were the Victory auctions and the team bank. And then you have the teamwork value commitments, which first and foremost, oh, I said team bank, I meant the ETC vault. The team bank is a teamwork value commitment, and it's arguably the biggest value commitment, and it's the gasoline that kind of propels this vehicle of a team. It's what allows us to combine our purchasing power and build towards bigger, better breaks. The way that it works is a certain percentage, at least a majority, if not significantly more, of every team member's membership dues each month get deposited directly into the team bank so that we pool our funds and then we use those funds to purchase the breaks. In addition, and this is the cool part, 90% of all auction revenue on our website is retained by the team because we deposit it right back into the team bank. And that is how we supercharge the growth of the team bank and build towards those bigger, better breaks. And so that is why it's super important that we grow to achieve our fullest potential, because the cycle is self-sustaining and self-reinforcing. The more members we get, the more money we have in the team bank. The more money we have in the team bank, the better breaks we can buy, the more valuable cards that will go up for auction, and the better the cards. I'm not familiar with this gentleman either. The more valuable cards that go into the auction, the more revenue that is retained, again going right back into the team bank. This is interesting. The printing on these the chrome cards with black team names is nearly impossible to read. So the team bank is one of those kind of like behind the scene things that just happens, but is super crucial to the way ETC operates. And oh gee, there's another all-time legend in New York for the rest of his life. So that was the team bank. We talked about, what are we on? We're on teamwork. I didn't talk about board account polling. I can't remember if I slotted that under. Oh! This one's special to me. Ant-Man. That's a cool parallel too. Probably not super exclusive, but anytime I see Ant-Man on a card, I get excited. That's my favorite current player. Favorite current player, man. Love that dude. Yeah, our board account polling is another value commitment. I can't remember if I slotted that value commitment under trust or teamwork, because it's a little bit of both, because you have to trust that I'm using it, or I use it to make sure you know that you can trust that ETC is being operated by and for its team members. That you know that I am using your input to guide the purchasing of the breaks, to guide the decision making for the company. And yeah, I mean, it can also be considered, I think I slotted it under trust, but it could also be considered a teamwork value commitment, because this is how the team, board account is a specific type of polling. The name is not something I made up. It's a specific type of polling that has actually been scientifically demonstrated to establish consensus amongst a group. And this was something that I put a lot of time and effort into thinking about, because that was going to be important, because knowing that I'm not an expert, I know that I'm not the person that collectors are going to trust to make decisions for their money on their own. And that's effectively what I'm doing, and what ETC is doing when we buy breaks with the team's money. So the team has to be able to trust, there's a number 6 out of 199, rookie, Jameer Watkins. Not familiar with that fella. But we establish consensus with these board account polls, because it's a type of ranked choice voting. So we'll give you a certain amount of options. So I'll say, I'll make a certain amount of polls available to every team member, and you can just kind of vote on them at your leisure. And when you vote, your vote will just stay what it is, and we'll cycle the polls every once in a while to make sure we're getting your opinion on all of the different issues that come up. But then you'll rank your choices. So let's say one poll is, do you prefer something as simple as which sport or genre do you prefer we break? And we'll have the basics: football, baseball, basketball, Pokemon, and I would like to get into One Piece. I think One Piece is pretty cool, and I think there's a lot of people out there that are into it. And then you'll rank those 1 through 5, and the way board account polling works, it basically assigns a corollary value to your ranking. So, you know, whatever you ranked first will get 5 points, whatever you ranked second will get 4 points, so on and so forth.
Stream,
Oh! It's getting late. I'm getting tired. Hopefully you could still hear me though. I did move the mic this time. Let's see here. What was I saying? Yeah. So that's how we'll judge what people want to break. You know, I'll ask what types of breaks people like. You know, the two main types of breaks that you guys will be choosing from will be new releases or past wax. So whether or not you want to chase the new 1-of-1s and the new SSPs and all the new release stuff, or whether or not you want to dig into the crates and, you know, maybe spend a little extra, but have a chance at stuff that you really otherwise wouldn't be able to get on your own at the store. Stuff like the 1987 Fleer. Stuff like the 2018 Topps Chrome Jumbo Box. Chasing Otanis. That kind of stuff. I am interested to see what the team leans towards as we grow, because I think there's real value to be had in each, given the combined purchasing power that we'll have as the team gets bigger. So yeah, and then, you know, we'll do other polls. You know, we'll talk about, you know, how quickly do we want to spend our money. So I'll make the frequency of breaks a topic of polling. You know, would you like to see us spend, you know, once we get to a certain amount of money, would you like to see us spend that amount of money once a month and purchase the biggest, baddest breaks? Or would you like us to spread it out? Maybe purchase some smaller breaks, probably some more new release stuff that's a little cheaper than the old past wax. And then we can do, you know, a break a week, or depending on how quickly we grow, even more than that. Baseball, hockey, some football, yeah. You know, we're gonna make whatever the team wants available, Dan. It was interesting to see what the people gravitated to at the card show. By far, the thing that went the quickest, I had Pokemon available. I had Topps Chrome Football, latest release. I had these 2 Bowmans available. And by far, what people gravitated to was the Topps Chrome Football. But it was hard to judge whether or not that was because it was football specifically, and everybody's just a huge football fan, which would make sense because we are in the South. Or if it was because that box was literally about twice as expensive as these boxes, which would also make sense. CJ Ingram. I feel like he might be a good prospect this year. I definitely did not get anybody asking me why I didn't have hockey, so my guess is that won't come in the near future, but maybe sometime down the line. And I don't follow a lot of baseball, as I have made abundantly clear on this stream by my complete lack of knowledge of most of the players that I pulled from the packs. But I am from the Chicago area, and I do like to rep Chi-Town. I've been in Atlanta for much, much longer, so I'm a Georgia boy at heart. Oh, let's go. What better card to pull right now than a numbered out of 75 Jalen Brunson? Wow. Let's go. The man of the hour. That one's going to attract some attention. 68 out of 75. That is sweet. That one goes up to the team just like everything else via Victory auction, sealed bids, second price, which means your bid is blind. Everyone else's bid is blind. If you win with the highest bid, you only pay the second highest price. And every bid has to be backed by funds already deposited in a team member's wallet so that you know when somebody's bidding on a card, they really mean it. Let's look at it one more time. Let's look at it one more time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love that. I love that for the team. Oh, Shania said she was rooting for the Spurs. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. He still put it to him, though. That Mr. Brunson, he is a bad man. T-Mac! That was a bad man. He should have won a chip, man. He was good enough. He should have won a chip. That dude was amazing. KT, still with us. Appreciate it, sir.
2 hours later.
2 hours later. That's dedication. That's dedication. He stayed for the good part. He stayed to see Mr. Brunson. He knew it was coming. He knew it was coming. Let's go. I will say, for the 5 people watching, please help us spread the word. Get out there and give us some likes and some reposts. We would appreciate it, because nothing is more important to the success of the team than our growth. And I am excited for you guys to get the close-up shot of the out of 75, Mr. Brunson. Pretty sure that's the best one of the night. I don't even think there's a debate. What a timely pull. Told somebody at work yesterday, that man will never pay for another meal in New York for the rest of his life. He is set. He is a legend. I get it, KT. I get it. We've all been there. Bedtime routine. Got to do it. Got to do it. Here it is. There it is. Check it out. Oh, yeah. Camera catches it just right. That's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. Oh, what do you say? This is awesome. Well done on the first run. It looks great. You've done a great job. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We're gonna get you on here, KT. I need the color commentary, sir. I need the knowledge. The knowledge and the color commentary. All of the things. We'll figure out a way to do it.
I don't know if there's a lag, but he asked for another shot of Brunson.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I would imagine he sent that before it came up on his screen. So hopefully he's seen it by now. That's a beaut. That's a beaut. Let's go. That is a beaut. One more time for the people. One more time for the people. She's a beaut. JB. Champion. Well, Spurs ain't nothing to mess with, though, man. They'll be back. They'll be back. The league should be scared. That boy Harper is a monster. That boy Castle is a monster. And whether you like him or not, I personally do. But I know a lot of people might have been rubbed the wrong way over the course of the playoffs. That boy Wemby is a monster and is going to make the league fear the sight of him for many years to come. And speaking of which, it's a perfect lead-in to the fact that founder-funded break number 1 just happens to be 2023 Panini Prism. Chase and Wemby rookies. Those things saw an astronomical rise in value over the course of the playoffs. And if you follow the hobby on social media, the last couple of days, you will have noticed that they have also seen a significant fall, as is to be expected with the ups and downs of young stardom. But I would not be quick to sell that one. It will always be a big what if he can stay healthy. But every indication thus far is that he's doing all the right things. Jalen Johnson, ATL, let's go. He's doing all the right things to take care of his body. Paolo. Man, I hope the Magic bounce back. This was a disappointing season for them. And I think Paolo is special. And I think if they can put it all together, and if he can put it all together, he can be dominant, dude. I love Paolo. I have not given hope on Paolo. Yeah, there are a lot of prospects in this release that I do not know. I know more about basketball than a fair amount of people, but these Bowmans bring out the obscure ones, which is cool, because that rewards the research. If you can find the diamonds in the rough before other people hang on to them, that's how you make money in this hobby. If you can identify talent before everyone else knows about it, that is how you make money in this hobby. Mr. Booker. That's a competitor right there. I'd like to see him get back to the playoffs as well. Lots of cool cards. Right on. Later, dude. Thanks for tuning in. What time is it? 9:30. Yeah, buddy. It's no joke. It's no joke. This card business. We're in it to win it. think what we'll do is we'll stick with this, sleeve every non-base card, get a picture of those, and then we'll find the way to put up the bases by number only. And that way, if you know you want the base, you can buy it by its number. And if you want to see the condition in which it was pulled, you can see it in the live stream. And maybe if you're really, really, really concerned about the condition of your base card, we can find a way for you to reach out to the company and ask for a close-up of any given one. What do you say? It is no joke. These rips take some time. You know it, brother. We're here to work. We did not get this far by not working. I can tell you that.
So in the ETC rules, you have to take a picture of non-base right after.
As the rules currently stand, I had committed to taking one of these front and back pictures of every single card pulled. And we will do that for boxes like the 87 Fleer and for boxes like the 2018 Topps Chrome, for those past waxes that the base has grown in value over time to the point where it, has real value. But from an efficiency standpoint, there's only so much time in the day for me to keep this company up and running, and I'm not sure that, at least right now, I have an efficient means of capturing the front and back of every base card. But, maybe between now and launch, I'll figure something out, and you'll see every single base card at launch, because I definitely want to be a man of my word. I'm going to sell the base as a package. That was not the intention, sir. The intention was to sell the base as a single, just like every other card. And when I first started the stream, my intention was to get through all the non-base first, and then go back and sleeve all the base and capture pictures of all the base. I had to get started with today's break late, and I had to do today's break today because of family commitments. So had I started this break earlier and had I had the time, I might have been able to follow through on that commitment, but I gotta work tomorrow because I still got a job to do. And I'm not gonna be able to do that tonight. So what that means is either I go back and take pictures of all the base cards that get pulled at a later date, which is entirely possible. Oh, we got another die cut here. I forget how to say his Yakachonis, I think. Kasparis. I think the Heat like him. I don't remember hearing a lot about him during the season, but I think he's got some potential. I'm not sure if that die cut, we pulled all those die cuts from the Bowman. That's a big commitment to scan and sleeve every base. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And I knew going into it that it was. And for the breaks, like I said, that are, single boxes, that's no big deal. But for breaks like these, or for breaks like the 2023 Prism Basketball, where we're going to be pulling over 1,000 cards total, it's really just not realistic. So we'll see. We'll see how we handle that. We're going to grow. We are fresh. We're new. We're adapting. We're overcoming. We're creating value where there was none. And we'll just keep tackling every challenge that comes our way. Mr. Steph, Young King. That's a bad man. You know what would be awesome, team? What would be really, really awesome is if we grow to the point that we can afford a sealed box of 2009 Topps Chrome, and we can find the as yet unseen, unpulled, ungraded superfractor of Steph's rookie card. That. Oh, hey, now this is one of those things where if you know, you know. One, obviously Peterson is a top prospect in this draft, and two, this is one of those base parallels that might hold its value even though it's relatively common. So the first Bowman Chrome of Darren Peterson, this is the type of card that I think you could find extra value in as a member of ETC. I think that when it comes to the combination of value that you get from bidding against a smaller pool with the combination of value that comes from bids having to be backed by funds already deposited in your wallet, the value of the Vickery auction. Gotten a lot of Sienna Betts cards. I wonder if she's any good. I think that you can have a card like that most people in the hobby would know has value. You could probably get that for well under its market value through our platform. No, sir, I have not. And the fact that you say that it's a crazy cool feeling, I'm going to assume implies that you have. And that's wild. So now you have to say what it was. I gotta know what superfractor you pulled. And I'm guessing most people that have pulled a superfractor have pulled a superfractor of a no-name person, because there are way more superfractors of no-name people than there are of good players, obviously. And that would kill me. If I got my one shot at a superfractor and it was of a no-name player, Cedric Howard, he's going to be good. Mark my words. I mean, that's only a paper card, but I think he's going to be good. Yeah, it would be super cool to be able to pull a superfractor on stream for ETC. That would be wild. We got one pack left out of this box. We are almost 3/4 of the way done, team. That is exciting. That is exciting.
So in the rules, it says that you'll take pictures every 10.
No, that's the system that I worked out. Why?
So you couldn't take them at the end
Of the base?
of the box. No, like after you go through one box, take all the pictures at the end so people could stay or not stay.
No, I definitely can do that. So I don't know if you guys. Oh, hey! Grab the mic again. I don't know if you guys heard my lovely wife, Miss Shania. Shout out to her and thank you for everything she's done to support this company. It would not be here without her. She was wondering if, in order to make the streams a little bit less time consuming, a little bit more engaging, if you will, if I could capture all the images at the end of the stream. And I think the answer to that is yes, assuming that doesn't, piss off the collective potential membership, or if I just start doing it from the beginning, that will be what it is. I just have to establish a process for that because it requires a little bit different handling because I need to, as I drop a card, I need to make sure that I'm handling all the cards appropriately in a manner that is transparent, that you can see, and is consistent and organized, because the way in which I handle these cards has to be a very specific manner for inventory purposes in terms of the order in which they get logged. So it's probably not all that complicated, and I'm sure that I will probably come up with a pretty easy solution. I just don't know what that is right now. But we'll get there.
I think that would help keep the energy,
Right on.
because we're at 3 hours now.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
I mean, part of this is like engaging and talking to people, but also part of it is logging.
Right.
And so logging is not necessarily exciting.
Right. And so that was my approach going into the live stream process, was that I did not approach the live stream process from the viewpoint of ensuring its entertainment value. Its entertainment value came second to the commitment to the transparency of the break. And so that's what you see here. And this break is a 3-hour-long stream, but super transparent. And so we're going to keep it super transparent, but hopefully find a way to condense the interesting part at the beginning. Mariano of tops, no way. Wow,
Wow.
that's huge.
Holy crap.
Do you still have it? Or did you let it go? That is the question. Because no one should be faulted for letting it go. Because more often than not, your card is most valuable at the time you pull it. Unless you are super educated, have super good luck, or some combination of the two, and you can identify prospects very well, most people cannot tell the future. And therefore, most people don't really know who to hold on to and who to sell high on. And I think that is something the new collector would also be a benefit from knowing, is don't be too overwhelmed with the idea of sell or hold. Usually if you got something valuable, the better bet is let it go while you can. I still have it. I've sold, traded, very. Wow. That's awesome. Good for you. Good for you. That is super cool. Super duper cool. And with that said, let's just go ahead and open this last box and pull a superfractor of our own. Sounds like a plan to me. Well, now I want to know. That's just a not very nice tease. Luca. Ah, there we go. I was talking about him. Now we got a good card of him. Base Refractor. Mr. Cedric Howard. He's gonna be good. Oh, there's AJ. Base card, though. We need to get a decent parallel of AJ. Most people think he's going number 1, although apparently Darren Peterson thinks only he should go number 1 if he's only working out for the Wizards.
What does that mean, working out for the Wizards?
The Wizards have the number 1 pick, and Darren Peterson is one of the top 4 prospects, depending on who you talk to. And so the teams that have draft picks, especially high draft picks, will work out the various prospects that are in the range that they're picking.
Like in the gym, working out.
Right. And so the prospects will sometimes kind of limit who they work out for, where they work out, how they work out. Some prospects just won't work out at all for anyone. It's a interesting, like, decision tree. All right, all right, all right. Yet again, started talking about ETC and forgot to change the camera, and I forgot to keep talking about ETC. So let's get back to business. I was talking about board account polling as one of the 7 value commitments, which fell under the trust commitment, I believe. And ooh, did I move this a little bit? There we go. The next one is teamwork, dedication. And dedication begins with the value commitment of next man up. And next man up is that process I was talking about earlier that automatically elevates you in seniority when a member above you in seniority lets their membership lapse. And so all you have to do is just stay a member. That's all you got to do. You just stay a member, continue to milk your membership for all that it is worth, and it will continue to create even more value for you without you lifting a finger. That's pretty sweet. And the other dedication value commitment is Elevation Day, which I've also talked about, which of all the value commitments is probably pretty obviously the one I'm most excited about, just for the potential of what kind of cards it means the team is going to be able to rip together. And I think the last one that I did not address, and it should have fallen in trust, is total transparency. But we've talked a lot about that here. We're practicing it right now. But this isn't the only way that we practice our total transparency. Kira Lewis Jr. Huh. Don't know who that is. So it makes sense why you didn't remember. But total transparency is, that was kind of like, that was the easiest one. That was the easiest one to come up with when I was down in the dumps after not pulling a Ant Edwards rookie card from a $2,500 box of first off the line 2020 Panini Prizm basketball, and doubting the decisions I had made in life up to that point. I thought, man, it would be sweet if this was way easier to understand and get into and trust. And we have a auto of Miss Haley Swan, 218 out of 299. I'm not sure if they call this glitter refractor or not, but it certainly looks like one. Not sure if she's good. That's cool. Is that on card? No, that's a sticker. Mr. Cunningham. That's a bad man, too. I think the league's in good hands these days. I am really excited for the future of the league between Ant-Man and Wemby and Cade and last year's draft class, which was really strong. I highly suggest if you're a collector. Again, I am not an expert, but just speaking off my general basketball knowledge, if you like collecting basketball cards, I think last year's rookie class is definitely worth the investment, hence why we are ripping this one. You know, we haven't pulled, oh, we got another out of 10. That is 2 out of 10s in one night. Now, unfortunately, I don't know this gentleman, Braden Shrewsbury. So I'm not sure if that's of any value to anybody. But that is our second black out of 10. That is pretty sweet, dude. It's going up for auction to the team. If you're out there, you're a fan of Mr. Braden Shrewsbury, or you believe he's going to do big things in the league, get yourself an ETC membership via our early access list, available for free right now on elevatedtradingcards.com. And you can place a bid on that card via a blind auction where you only pay the second highest price. I'm now sleeving base cards. And pick that bad boy up. All right. Ripping packs. Hobby Essential experience. And ETC is looking to bring it to the everyday collector. Man, you know they are bringing people out of the woodwork. I watch a lot of Warriors. I don't think I saw that man get any PT. No disrespect, sir. Oh, Melo! He's a crazy man, but he sure is fun to watch. Oh, look at that. Mr. Shrewsbury again. This time in his base refractor. All right. I will say I was contemplating whether or not I should sit or stand for the whole stream. I am very glad that I chose to sit for part of it. I'm not gonna lie. And I am really, really hungry.
I told you to eat.
I did eat some, but not enough for this.
3 hours in, baby.
well, not just long songs, but songs that don't just get really weird. Like, the AI just does some really annoying stuff. And, like, if you can, like, go in there and, like, edit the song and take it out and stuff, but it's, like, this really long, tedious process.
I feel like they make commercial music.
They do. And I investigated that before the Suno thing became a thing. And like, what I investigated was, oh no, I messed it up again. The music was just, I mean, you know, if it's just ambient music and nobody really cares, it's not that big of a deal, but it wasn't the greatest.
Yeah, I think it can be ambient music that nobody cares.
I mean, I was just hoping to make something that was a little bit more
Yeah.
enjoyable.
I'm gonna have to go do Dogs in Asher.
I think we're good.
I don't see any crazies popping off in the chat that I gotta regulate. But it's gonna remind you to move your bike and stuff.
I've been getting better.
Yeah.
I'll be able to wear my embroidered ETC hat on the next stream. It is ready as of today.
That's good news.
Yep.
What did Dan say? Not yet, you don't?
Not yet, you don't. I'm not sure what that was in reference to. Dan, we got a long delay between what we say here and when you see it there. So I'm not entirely sure what.
Said the crazies will come.
Oh.
Well, that's not delayed. Can they hear me really well?
Apparently.
So when I was whispering to you, I could be heard.
Probably.
How many more packs to go?
Fair amount. Oh, Terrence Shannon Jr. Auto. Oh, there's a Wimby base refractor. Terrence Shannon Jr. Had a few moments in the playoffs this year. I think they're going to lean on him a little bit more moving forward. I don't know if he's going to be a star, but now this guy is already a star. Mr. Wimby. He's a monster. Yeah, we can hear almost everything. You've got a good mic.
Oh.
Hopefully it's not too loud. So for future reference, we're going to have to learn sign language.
Yep. Whispering so much about telling him to do stuff.
Yeah, and I was trying to, like, withhold my angry faces. Oh, there's a Mr. Flag. But now they're going to know that greatness loading. I'm guessing that's not a great refractor, or not a great insert. Huh, there's a basketball player named Cam Ward, too. Volume is good. Okay, good deal. Thanks for joining, man. Thanks for the feedback. Really appreciate the support. Very, very cool of you. Very cool of you. Matas. He's going to be a good one as he grows. Hopefully the Bulls will actually break out of this like multi-decade funk of mediocrity.
I keep telling you to stop making that noise. That's what I've been whispering the most.
What's wrong with that noise? I'm just trying to fill the silence.
I know. Let's ask Dan. Is silence better or?
And the fact that he's going to be able to hear you say that
And I'm so far
from
away
all the way
from that
across
mic.
the room, and that it doesn't make me super loud, but you can still hear her, is just a modern marvel of technology.
We might need to use that other mic.
Is yours not like that?
No. Did you hear me? He says, yeah, man, I want to see this go great.
That was,
You responded to that?
no, that was him responding to us thanking him.
Oh.
But we surely appreciate you, sir. And I think you are in for some good value in the early days as a early member. You're going to have a chance at some pretty nice cards for a pretty nice price.
They do all have music
Yeah,
in the background.
yeah. Gonna have to figure that one out.
We
It
just
was
have to
on the-
find something that's commercial and just put on a speaker.
It was on the list.
Yeah.
It was on the list of things to do. I'll figure it out.
All right, I'm writing that on my list of things. I have stop autofocus and music in background. Wimby!
Mr. Wemby. I was listening to Bill Simmons today, and I've had this discussion with multiple people about how tall Wemby actually is, because he lists himself as 7'4", I think, maybe 7'5". Simmons thinks that he's 7'6", and the guy that Simmons was talking to today, or was it, or somebody, I think he was just saying that other people think that he might even be, oh, a writer, I think it was a mailbag question, a writer was guessing that he was 7'7". Then we will fight about it to change the song. Ah, yeah, that's probably true. Card number 100 of Bowman basketball.
How many sealed basketball boxes did you have for the card show?
3.
Oh, so they only went through not even one full one.
No, they only went through all of the football, and then the baseball was.
You had 3 football?
Uh-huh.
Wow. All right, Dan, since you can hear me. I'll catch you later if you're still here after I put Asher to bed.
Ace flag from Maine. I wonder if that, surely, is he related to Cooper? I wonder. Another 10! Wow! We just can't get a 10 of somebody good. Well, I mean, quickly's not bad, but look at that. Our third 10 of the night. Wow. That's crazy. I have not had that kind of luck with boxes in the past. That goes to show, even when you get the 10, it doesn't mean you got the 10 of somebody good. Lots of luck to be had or not had in this hobby. Put in the work, sir. Strong work. Good job. Now you get to reap the rewards of chilling in silence, which is awesome to a new parent. I know, right? That is a lot of 10s. Color match. Love the color matches. Ryan Dunn. Yeah. Would have loved it if it was a Booker. 112 out of 250. Mr. Gilgis. Base refractor. Ah, this is Cooper Flagg's brother. How about that? Walter Clayton Jr. Oh, there's somebody behind that. Derek Lively. I hope Lively's healthy next year. I think him and Cooper and Kyrie could be a pretty lethal combination if they keep Kyrie. That's a big if, I guess. Although I think they'll keep Kyrie. I think that he's good for vet leadership for them. Go out of 10, Mr. Quickly. Wonder how the Thunder are going to bounce back next year. What's wild is that they gave San Antonio all they could handle and probably would have beat San Antonio if Jalen Williams was healthy. And were widely regarded as the best team in the league throughout the entire year. And then, what's the biggest card you pulled versus the biggest card you own? Well, I don't actually own that many cards, given that I only got back into the hobby last year, and the rest of my experience in the hobby was from when I was a kid. So the biggest card I owned from when I was a kid was a Michael Jordan Power in the Key insert from the 92-93 Fleer Ultra, or 93-94, I forget. I actually got that graded, and unfortunately it had a massive edge chip, so it only graded like a 6.5. But the best card that I've pulled since getting back into the hobby this year is a Cooper Flag Auto from the Topps flagship release last year. That and I pulled a Cooper Flag Class of 2025 SSP. Both of them were base. They weren't numbered, but those were easily the best two cards that I've pulled since getting back in the hobby. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's no joke, especially if he keeps, getting better and holding his value. That's always a big if. But that's definitely a several $100 card right now, and could get better. The class of 2025 has a rough corner. It came out of the pack like that, so that was disappointing. But I have visions of maybe trying some of these card care things you see, like Kurt's Card Care and Magic Card Care, and all of that stuff. It definitely seems like a very user dependent thing, whether or not you can do that with any success, and there's probably a high potential that I'm mess the card up even more than I do fix the corner. But thought it would be a cool kind of content thing to teach people about the experience that aren't familiar, and talk about the whole grading subculture. I don't know about subculture. Rockstar Rookies, Young Hansen. I wonder if this is a short print insert or not, because I have not pulled any of these yet, but I'm guessing not. Kurtz is really good. I've had some work done on cards and it's gone well. Ah, cool. So you sent in cards. I've seen, obviously, his videos, and he's clearly very talented at what he does. But I've also seen that he sells products, and there's other card care companies that sell products for people to do on their own. And I was wondering if it was even worth trying on your own, or if it's just better left to somebody who is, well versed in the matter. Am I going to wear gloves in the future? So, that was something that I brought up at the very beginning of the stream, which is now nearly 4 hours ago. I am more than happy to wear gloves. And I said at the time, local card shop brought up an older card, at least full graded. Huh, cool. I feel like everyone should handle their cards with their hands. But that being said, I fully respect that since I'm handling the cards of the team, that I probably owe it to the team to wear gloves. And if they let me know via our board account polling that they would prefer that I do that, I'm more than happy to do that. And so that will be one of the very first polls that I put up to the team after we launch, is whether or not they prefer their cards pulled with gloves. I would probably default to gloves for stuff like the 87 Fleer box, you know, the super expensive boxes, the 2018 Chrome box, stuff like that. For stuff like this, and since I'm giving it to the team, and I really don't want to wear gloves, to be honest with you, you know, I decided to take it easy on this one. But in the future, if the team determines that I need to wear gloves, I'll wear gloves. No sweat. Don't touch my cards, Ryan. Dub Z in the house. What up, Dub Z? Thank you for joining, sir. That's awesome. That is awesome. Dub Z, I've been at it for 4 hours, man. This is taking a while. But it's all good. Total transparency, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. We're getting close to the end, though. We got maybe 5 packs left. 5 packs. Our monster pull of the night was... We're going to need more rippers. Well, I won't need more rippers if we don't grow. So I'm going to withhold that assumption until launch, and we'll see exactly how this thing takes off. Or more hands. Gloved ones. Good point. Good point. As I was saying, our monster pull of the night was the out of 75 Jalen Brunson yellow refractor. That was awesome. Super timely as well. I had somebody reached out to Shania about whether or not we were going to do magic cards. Dub, and I told her to tell them that I'm willing to do whatever the team wants. So when I poll the team, if the team comes back with interest in magic, then we'll pull some magic. No, hey, we're going to be doing Pokemon for sure. And my son Asher has gotten into One Piece. And I said earlier that I think I'm a fan of One Piece even more than I am Pokemon. They're both pretty cool. So we're going to be doing all the card game stuff too. We do not judge. We are here for the people. Here for the people. Right way to rep. You know, I really, I've pushed the launch of this thing back many a time over the course of its development. And at one point, I was planning or hoping to launch on May the 4th. And if I was able to pull that off, I was planning on ripping a box of one of the original Star Wars releases from the 80s on launch day. And I was that close to buying the box, and that was not a cheap box. And so I'm kind of glad that I didn't pull the trigger, since I clearly did not make May the 4th. Cedric Howard. Keep bringing his name up during this stream, but I do think he's going to continue to get better. And I think that base refractor could have some value in the future. That would have been some in a good way or a bad way? I'm not sure if you think that's good or bad. You need to get out to more card shows. Yes, sir, I do. You got that right. The thing about going to card shows is that's a lot of work, especially if they're not in the city. So I got to get up and running, and then card shows are definitely going to be core to the success of the business. Mr. Harper, he's a beast. He's a beast. He's going to be awesome. Haley Swain. I'm not familiar with her game. The National. It's amazing. For sure, dude. I can't wait. Can't wait. One day. Probably not this year, but hopefully next year. I would assume that all the tables for the National are sold out already anyway. Maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, next year, table at the Nationals, that would be huge. That would be huge. Meh. I'm not sure if I know you. Do I know you, meh? Or are you just an interested party? Or maybe an early access person that got the email today? Do a live rip at a show. That would be mayhem. That would be mayhem. That would be hard to keep track of. Mr. Leonard, refractor of the Young Kings. Remember when Kawhi was on the Spurs? That seems like a century ago. All right, we are down to our last two packs. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Maybe, I'm sure there are some tables open. I think for you to see how it works would be good, just to get your feet wet. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, knowing how much work it was just to get to the Culture Collision show, and knowing how important it would be to nail the National, I gotta have that thing right. I gotta put a lot of thought and probably a significant investment into that. So the plan now is get these cards up on the website and get the website available for view-only mode before we go live, so that everybody can have a chance to see the actual site in action in real life before we go live. And then we go live on the 28th. A couple days before that, we'll close down the early access list, send out the email invites to everybody on the list so they can join if they so choose. Then on June 28th, the day we go live, all of these cards will move into availability to be bid on, and only the members that have their membership from early access will be able to bid on those cards. And on that day, we will go live with the 2023 Panini Prism basketball break. Yeah, Dub Z's on the chat. Checking in. You want to come say hi to the people, Ashman? Come say hi to the people.
Did you guys have the gloves debate, it looks like?
Yeah, meh came through and asked if we were.
Who's Matt?
I'm not sure. You got it. The camera's over here. If you want to come say hi to the people.
Well, did you explain that's up for vote?
Oh, hold on. I lost my place.
Uh-oh.
You need
This one.
71.
This one. Nope, we're good. Okay. I was asking Meh if I know who Meh is, but they didn't respond. But it feels like maybe they knew.
I don't think
Dan.
it's
I'm not sure.
meh. I think it's meh.
Well, that too, but I didn't want to say all that.
Have you gotten any cards yet?
Oh yeah.
Get in there. Get in there. Say hi.
This camera up here. No, okay. You're messing.
Where?
You're messing up the vibe.
Where?
This camera, you got to stand right here.
No, but like the good cards.
You can't. You don't get to touch them.
Where are they
Okay,
at?
Asher, this is inappropriate. People are trusting me to. There's Asher's hand, everybody. There's Asher's hand. We add funds to our account from a credit card to bid. Yes, sir. It's a Shopify built website. So pretty much any payment form that Shopify accepts will be sufficient to add funds. Another hand to rip. That's right. That's right. Yeah, you're tuning in at the tail end, but we've I've been thinking out loud about how we're gonna streamline this thing in the future. We'll figure out a way. But I did say from the beginning that these streams are primarily for transparency, and entertainment was a secondary factor. That being said, there's no reason why we can't find a little bit of a better balance. You're welcome for the clarification, sir. No sweat. No sweat. That's what these are for, to educate. All right, 2 more packs. What are the odds we get anything good from the last 2? Probably slim to none, if we're being honest about the way pack ripping goes. But you never know. Jalen Johnson would like to say we're going to rip something really, really nice. Oh, wait. Just 1 more pack. I misspoke. All right, last pack. Here we go. Here we go. Man, talking a lot about Cedric Coward tonight. Don't know who that is. Darius Garland, David Anna. Nah. All right. There we have it.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
I'm back just in time.
Last pack.
Wait, so what happened with the glove debate? I missed it.
Meh. Just asked if I was going to wear gloves, and I just reiterated that I had brought it up earlier in the chat and what I said about it, and they never responded to. Oh, it's the final countdown. So meh. Before we
Or is
wrap.
it meh?
Meh. Before we wrap this thing up, do you prefer if I wear gloves or not? Since I want to know what the people want. Let your true feelings be known. And our last 5 captures to be had. Coming right up.
No
No
glove.
glove. That's fair. That's fair. Well said. Well said. Yeah, yeah, I think, I'm probably gonna have to. And I think I'm probably gonna have to start on the next one, to be honest with you. So, it's all good, no sweat. But, I encourage every other collector in the hobby to put your hands on your cards, man. Let's not get too crazy with this whole grading thing. Let's enjoy the cards for what they are. Let's take a little of the stress and anxiety out of the hobby. And let's all enjoy the right way to rip. There we have it.
Mittens.
First one in the book. Mittens, maybe. Yeah, that's just a guaranteed way to nick some corners. Definitely not gonna do that. I got some good gloves I can wear. It's no problem. Yep, we'll try and make this shorter.
Oop.
All of this
Sound.
is just a never-ending learning process. So really excited to have gotten this one in the books. Thank you to family and friends that joined. The love is much appreciated. And yes, here, Dan. Thank you, sir. Keep tuning in. Keep letting us know how you feel. If you are on the early access list, look out for your email next week to purchase your membership before the general public. If you're not on the early access list, go to elevatedtradingcards.com right now and get on it. That's the only way you're going to be able to bid on any of the cards that were pulled tonight. And tune in on June 28th when we go live with our $5,000 plus worth of 2023 Panini Prism Basketball Chasing Wemby rookie cards. It's going to be a blast. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for what this thing can be. Till then, good night.
Bye.